All right, so hi, Paola Wilson. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being on time. I was having some problems with the link because I created this meeting, all right, only until yesterday, which was Monday. So I couldn't see the meeting itself. So I had to look for the link, all right. But well, and the thing is that I'm here. So I want to start doing the following, please. I want to work with you, Paola, at the beginning of this class. So we have that fixed. I want to take a look and you're going to let me know, please, if you are in this list. This is going to be the list of students in the course A8. All right, and it's over here. You're going to let me know if your username is here, Paola. All right, if not, we are going to join now, please. All right. I think you are not here yet, so I'm going to send the ID. If you have questions of how to join, Paula, you're going to let me know. But in the chat, you're going to find the ID to join the course, which is this one. All right, so you just need to log in with your new username, your new password. All right, and after you log in with that information, you open the product as always. All right, you should be able to see the product. Open the product, go to settings, go to join a course, and then you have to copy and paste that ID, and you should be able to join the course. All right, let me know, please, if you have any questions about that, Paola, so that we can work on that now.
Hello, teacher. It's logging.
Hello. All right. No problem. So let's wait. All right. You're going to let me know, please, Paola, if you have any questions. Again, as soon as you log in, you're going to select the product, right? This is the purple product. You click on the product, right? Go to settings, join a course, and then copy and paste the ID. As soon as you do it, please let me know. You're going to interrupt or you can raise your hand. Let me know so that I can check that you're in the list and I can reassign what it's missing. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Very good. So in the meantime, all right, in the meantime, I'm going to show you something, guys, Wilson and Larissa. You know that, and also this is for you, Paola, but this is just reminders and review. Today we are working on the last lesson. Actually, we started the last lesson. Today we're going to finish the last details. All right, but I'm going to be showing you what you should know, right, in this course. And if you feel comfortable with that, it's perfect. If not, you can let me know the questions that you have. All right, in B1, this is unit 1, you were supposed to learn about first, and speaking, that's something you worked, non-action verbs, right? To have can be a non-action verb, right? I have a car. You never say I'm having a car, but the meaning of the verb can change, and it can be action verb, I'm reading, action verb, or non-action verb. I know that, I don't know that, right? That's action or non-action verbs. Then you had models of request. Then you know that you can use can I, could I, also will, also would, right? There are many ways of asking for something, of offering something, or requesting something. Then so and such, right? So for adjectives and such for nouns, right? You are so, I don't know, right? You are so good, you are so intelligent, or she's such a beautiful girl, right? He's such a great player, and you have ideas like that. All right, so let me know, please, Paola, Wilson, and Larissa, if you have questions about unit 1. Again, non-action verbs, models of request, so and such. Any questions about that? Let me know, please. No? All right, let's go then to the next one. And also you have other details, right? In vocabulary, you were learning about I just don't get it. So get as phrasal verb is important. I don't understand. I don't get it. And you have other details. That's unit 1. In unit 2, you were working these elements with me, right? Gerunds as subjects and objects, right? You know that gerunds can be subjects, Dancing is my passion, right? Dancing is my passion. Singing is what I love. So singing, dancing are gerunds. They can be subjects or they can be objects after some verbs, right? I enjoy dancing. I avoid singing, or after all prepositions. I'm thinking of traveling next year. She's thinking about going to the park, right? Of traveling, about going. After all prepositions, we use gerund. Models of possibility, right? You know that one as well. What you use to talk about possibility. And reflexive pronouns, sorry. That was interesting, right? It means myself, yourself, himself. And you have 4 ways of using that, right? If you have questions about this, please let me know, guys. Again, Paola, Larissa, and Wilson. No? All right, so that's unit 2. All right, that's unit 2. And in terms of vocabulary, you were learning about phrases with feel. All right, that's usually something that you should know. Then, let's go to unit 3. In unit 3, you were covering the following with me. Past continuous, and you were mixing past continuous with simple past, right? I was going to the park when I found something, right? You were doing something and something happened. It interrupts or it only happens, all right? So 2 tenses, past continuous with simple past. Then models of preference, right? I prefer, I would rather, right? I would rather not. So all those are models of preference. And then comparative adjectives, right? You know, short adjectives, smaller, bigger. Long adjectives, more comfortable, more awkward, right? So those are the rules. And in terms of vocabulary, it was about verbs and nouns. Okay, again, if you have questions about unit 3 or about all these units, please, you can let me know. Now I'm going to the last unit, which we worked last week and we are finishing today. And it was about first, used to, right? I used to do this and that. So used to is always past, okay? It's always past, unless you use used to as adjective after be, right? So it's not the same I used to go that I'm used to going, or I got used to going, or I'm accustomed to going, right? So it's different. Used to, it's always past. I'm used to is adjective and it's present, or it can be past or future. All right, used to. Then embedded questions. Remember, please, you have to practice that one. Be careful with the order, right? I wonder, right, what time it is. What time it is. Subject, verb, right? You don't use question order, you use sentence order. And now we started with indefinite pronouns, and today we're going to finish with this, indefinite pronouns. All right, so again, one more time. If you have questions about unit 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, you can let me know. All right, any questions that you have, you can turn on your microphones or you can raise your hands. All right, and in the meantime, please, guys, think if you have any questions. Paola, were you able to join the course? Let me know, please.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let me just verify. Okay, this is just to verify to be sure that you are here. And I'm going to reassign because of the technical problems and the expiring of your account. So 5, yes, you should be here. Good. So what's your username, Paola?
Student 4.
Student 4. Okay, good. Student 4. So this is what I'm going to do, Paola. Again, guys, just in case Daniel, Wilson, and Larissa, Paola had some problems with her account. It expired, okay? The account expired. So she was not able to complete the last unit and the final test. That's why with Paola, okay, we're going to work that tonight. and tomorrow night. And again, Paula, in case you need more time, that was a problem related to management, all right? Because I don't give the accounts, the usernames and the passwords. In case you feel that you need more time because you work, you told me, Paula, and that's understandable. You have to let management know. Just tell them, and they are going to accept. All right. But what I'm going to do is going to be available today and tomorrow until 11:59 p.m. All
Okay.
right. Okay. Very good. So let me do it, please. I'm going to do this for you and with you, and we are going to continue working. So first, the assignments. Student 4. There you go. So today until tomorrow, 11:59, sorry, tomorrow, Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. There you go, 2 attempts as always with the model, everything as usual. And also, right, it should be the final test. This is the final test. There you go, only student 4. And again, tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. and 60 minutes. All right. So there you go. With that, I think we are done with Pearson. Paola, if you have any questions, please let me know. All right. And also you guys. No? All right. So then let's keep working. Today, again, is the last day for this course for A8. I think most of you did it very, very well. I'm going to show you this one. All right. Just in case you are missing some information, remember that you have until today. All right. Some of you perhaps are still missing something to complete, 1 or 2 assignments. You can do it tonight. All right. The rest of you. But again, in general, it was very good. Just be careful with some details. And again, you always have to let me know when you have any questions or doubts about Pearson. So that's it with Pearson. Now we are going to go to work with the last lesson. And to do it, first, I'm going to share one more time, please, the link. Remember that here we always write some examples. All right, the examples are going to be here for you. Good. So they are in the chat. All right, you can find the link over there. And we are going to start then once again with our last presentation. So we already started with this one, but I need you to tell me what you remember. Okay, so indefinite pronouns. This time I'm going to start with you, please, Wilson. What do you remember about indefinite pronouns? We were working a little bit on Friday. What do you remember?
Well, good night, teacher. I remember that we use words like something or anything or someone or everything to we use them for replace pronouns, and yeah, they have some rules.
Great. Great. Thank you very much, Wilson. I think that's great. That's more than enough, all right, to give us once again the introduction. Yes, they can be used and they are used as pronouns. So they replace usual pronouns, right? The most common pronouns are I, we, you, they, he, she, it, right? Those are the common pronouns. But here you use indefinite pronouns because it's something not specific, right? Larissa was saying that on Friday, right? And she said, this means something not specific. And she also mentioned, right? One of these indefinite pronouns could be anyone or anybody. All right. And then we took a look at the list. But right now, all right, with you guys, I would like to remember first, one more time, what is the difference between this one? So this is going to be for you, Daniel. If I say this in English, I don't like nothing. I don't like nothing. Is that correct or incorrect? And why, Daniel? What do you say?
That's incorrect because you are You're saying a double negation, is that correct?
Yes, it is possible to say it that way. Good. So what is the correct way of stating that idea?
You don't like anything?
Exactly. I don't like anything. Correct, right? So we do not say no, and we do not say nothing, no one, nobody, because you have two times, right? A negative idea. So what you need to do is use any instead. All right. So that's what I care now. We're going to remember once again this, so that please you have this in mind, and you remember that you have four main categories to talk about indefinite pronouns. It's any, every, no, and some, right? Any, every, no, and some. Every and some are kind of always positive, right? They are positive. And any and no are not always, all right, but most of the time, mainly any. Okay, any can be not something negative, can be something that refers to like a lot of options, all right, not necessarily something negative, but in most cases any and no are going to be negative. Okay, so red and yellow are negative, and blue and green are positive. Okay, let's relate those ideas. But let's read, please, all of you. Okay, all of you are going to read all these words so that we have these words very, very rapidly. All right, so I'm going to start with you, please, Paola. Let's read all the list of words, please.
All,
Yes, please. Let's do it like that, please. All of them.
anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere. Everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere. Nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, somebody, someone, something, somewhere.
Thank you very much, Paola. Let's do the same, please, Wilson. Let's read all these words in this chart.
Anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, somebody, someone, something, and somewhere.
Great. Thank you very much, Wilson. Let's go with you, Daniel, please. I know it's repetitive, but let's do it, please. These words.
Anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, everything, right, teacher?
Yes, please.
Everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, somebody, someone, something, and somewhere.
Thank you very much, Daniel. And let's finish this up with you, please, Larissa. The same. Let's read all the words, please.
Anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, somebody, someone, something, and somewhere.
Thank you very much, Larissa. So there you go. I only wanted you to do that in order to notice only two things, okay? What are the two words? Well, actually, first, what is the one word that is different in pronunciation? What is the only word that changes in pronunciation, guys? What do you say? Of all these words, only one word sounds different to the rest of the group. What is that group? Well, sorry, what's that word? What do you say? If I go to you, Paola, from all these words, what is the word that sounds different to the rest of the group? Right? For example, here you have anybody, anyone, it's the same, right? Everybody, everyone, it's the same. Okay, then you have nobody, no one, the same. But there's one word that changes a little bit at the beginning. What's that word?
Nothing.
Correct, exactly. And what is going to be then the pronunciation? Because in all of them, right, it's any, every, some. But in no, the only one that changes is that one, right? It's not going to be nothing, right? Nothing. It's going to be nothing, right? More than a between O and A, right? So good. Thank you, Paola. Nothing is the word, the only word that differs from the rest of the ideas. And the only one also that changes in writing. All of them are written together except for what? No one. Okay, so only be careful with these two words, please. That was the only thing I wanted you to notice, but it's important because many people can make mistakes and they read this as nothing, right? That's incorrect. And no one together, and that's incorrect, okay? No one is divided and nothing changes in pronunciation. All right, just be careful with those two, please. That's the only thing. Now that we know that one, all right, perhaps also you knew it, but it's important to understand that one. You also read the definition, but we're going to do it one more time, and I'm going to do it with you, please, Larissa. Let's read the definition, please.
We use indefinite pronouns to refer to people or things without saying exactly who or what they are. We use pronouns ending in body or one for people and pronouns ending in thing for things.
Thank you very much, Larissa. So, right, body and one, people, thing for obviously things, right? Remember here, there's not going to be a lot of difference between every and, for example, everyone, all right, everyone, and it's going to be anyone, all right? In some contexts, they can refer to the same idea. Again, it depends on the whole idea and how you use this one. Or it's going to be the same when you say everybody and everyone, right? Again, there are differences, but here they are going to be understood as practically the same. And then you have some examples, right? And you also gave me some examples. You know that you can use these pronouns as subjects. You can use them as objects. Okay, so as pronouns, any pronoun, right, can be subject and can be object. So let's read these examples, please, and this is going to be for you, Wilson, please. Examples.
Examples. Everybody enjoyed the concert. I opened the door, but there was no one at home. It was a very clear day. We could see everything.
Thank you very much, Wilson. So there you go. The first one is the subject. Everybody enjoyed. And the next two examples are objects, right? But there was no one at home and we could see everything. All right, so again, they can be subjects and objects. Again, this is reviewing, this is relating to this. Now, this is very important, okay? This is very, very important because many people, all right, many people make a lot of mistakes here. This is very, very important. So this is for you, please, Daniel. Rules.
We use a singular verb after an indefinite pronoun. Everybody loves Sally. Everything was ready for the party.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. So this is the first rule. Okay. These indefinite pronouns, most of them are going to be as singular. Okay. When you conjugate with a verb, okay, pay attention to that. If you conjugate this as a verb, they are singular. All right. So it's everybody loves. In Spanish, sometimes you use that as plural, but in English, it's going to be singular. Okay, everybody loves. Everything was. Okay, so these ideas of every, even though it's a group, even though it's a lot of people, a lot of things, it's only as one thing, all right? Everybody, everything. Okay, so take that into account, please. We're going to practice this. And then again, as soon as we finish this, we are going to work on speaking practice. All right, but today it's very important that you can, all right, that you can understand this idea. So let's go to the next part. This is the first rule, always singular, all right? In this case, it's singular. Now, this is even more important, and you have to be careful, all right? They are conjugated as singular, but they are plural when they are referred back. Okay, that is very important. So the first conjugation, singular, and the second reference, if you don't mention everybody, of course, you have to say now they, then it's going to be plural. Okay, so you have to use a plural pronoun. So this is going to be for you, please, Paola. The second part of rules, please.
Okay. When we refer back to an indefinite pronoun, we normally use a plural pronoun. Everybody enjoyed the concert. They stood up and clapped. I will tell somebody that dinner is ready. They have been waiting a long time.
Thank you very much, Paola. Yes, that was okay. All right, stood up. And remember, right, to clap is to do that one. And the only change, please, you're going to repeat, Paola, it's going to be more connected. So it's going to be clapped, clapped.
Clapped.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good. So first, they are singular. All right, they can be singular. If you conjugate with a verb, they are going to be singular. But when you refer back, all right, to them, then they are going to be plural. All right, so I'm going to give you an example. Here you have some examples, but it's not clear because this is past. So you don't notice the change, right? So it's going to be something like this. Let me just do this for you. So you can say, let's use everybody. That's the most common, all right? Everybody, all right, was there. Everybody was there. They were really excited. All right, so this is the example. So it's everybody, okay? And everybody is also they. But again, if you use everybody, you're going to conjugate that as singular. But if you talk about everybody one more time, you don't say everybody one more time. You have to use another pronoun. So you're going to use they. And of course, that's going to be plural. Okay, that's the only thing, and that's very important. Okay, so the first time, singular. The second time, it's going to be plural. All right, and it's the same group of people. Everybody and they here are the same. All right, the same. That's another rule. All right, you're going to try to use this one, please. We're going to continue with the rules. If you have any questions, you can let me know, but we're going to work on a writing exercise in which you're going to use these pronouns and you're going to apply these rules. Okay, so let's continue. Then this is the next rule related to possessive, and this is for you, please. Let me see, Daniel. Rules, please. Let's read this one again.
Okay, when we use possessive preference with indefinite pronouns, we can use his or her or their. Everyone knows what's his or her task. Everyone now knows what's their task.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Now here, I have something, all right, to say. In Pearson, they say that it's more formal if you use his or her. But in other books, all right, other, let's say, companies, education companies, and other universities, they consider that their is more formal than his or her, because they say there is no sense to say his or her every time, right? Everyone knows what his or her task. No, they say that it's better to say everybody or everyone knows what's their task. Okay, so everyone is conjugated as singular, but the possessive is going to be plural. Okay, you can use any of these guys, Paola, Wilson, Daniel, and Larissa, but my personal preference, all right, the thing that I always use, because I found this in tests and in many places, is their. Okay, their. When you mention something that is indefinite and you want to mention that again, sometimes it's better to use plural after that. Okay, so not only for everyone, you can say every person. Every person knows what's their task. All right, not his task, not her task. You can say his or her or their. Okay, so this is the rule in terms of possessive. Okay, this is the rule instead in terms of possessive. Again, all right, you can use any of those, but I've seen that it's more common to say their, all right, and it's a lot more comfortable to do it in that way, because I wouldn't say that it's less informal. All right, that's something that again, it's different with Pearson. So up to that part, let's work with the first thing. First is going to be writing before we go to the speaking practice. So please, Paola, Wilson, Daniel, and Larissa, this time we're going to have a little bit more time. It's 6:35, that's great. So we're going to have 5 minutes, please. All right, what are we going to do in these 5 minutes? In these 5 minutes, you're going to, again, this is going to be a free task, a free writing exercise. It means that you're going to decide the topic, you're going to decide how you're going to structure your ideas, but the only thing that you have to do in your writing exercise, please, everybody, is that you have to use indefinite pronouns. Okay, my recommendation again is always you can talk about stories. Okay, you can tell me a story, a past story. You can tell me about a sequence of actions, or you can describe a situation. Okay, so telling a story, describing situations, those are always the two, let's say, best options. All right, the two best options. So try to work on one of those, please. Paola, Wilson, Daniel, and Larissa, again, 5 minutes. And also, besides that, please, you're going to use one more time this element. Remember that you have rules, right? So you used first of all, and so on. Here you're going to use to commence. Okay, to commence is really interesting. Great idea. Okay, to commence, blah, 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 blah. Of course, here they want to say a complete idea, but I don't want to say that. So to commence, complete idea. All right. Then you're going to say additionally. Okay, additionally, that's to add extra information, right? That's very clear. Complete idea. All right, so to commence, blah, 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 blah. You can say many things, okay? You don't need to work with these together, one after another. You can use it in the order that you want, okay? But be careful with categories, all right? Don't divide the same idea with big connectors, okay? Big connectors for big ideas, small connectors like that, and for small ideas. Then after additionally, you're going to try to use contrast, please, okay? But instead of using something like that, this time you're going to use this word, nonetheless, okay? Nonetheless is the same as, almost the same, I would say, as however, okay? Contrast, complete idea. Okay, that's one thing, please, use those ones. And also, please, you're going to use, again, don't follow this order. You can use this in the order that you want. Of course, to commence is better at the beginning or in the second idea. And also, please, you're going to use this. All right, Wilson, Daniel, Larissa, and Paola. You're going to use for as a coordinating conjunction. And it's like this, okay? Complete idea, comma, for. For means reason, okay? For, if you use for like this, means because, okay? But you have to use it with comma. For means because, complete idea. Okay, And finally, again, this is another coordinating conjunction. It's the same structure, all right, the same structure, but we are going to use, you have used but, let's use yet so that you get used to it. And yet is the same as but, okay, contrast, like nonetheless, but for smaller ideas. Let me know, please, if you have any questions before starting. So you have to use comment, complete idea, and you can connect lots of things. Then you say additionally to give me more information about that idea. Okay, complete idea and period. Then nonetheless, that is for contrast. Okay, nonetheless, however, nevertheless, all right. And then you have these coordinating conjunctions, and this is not with period, okay? This is with comma, for, comma, yet, complete idea, and here you have the period. Okay, be careful, please, with those rules, and here you are missing one period. But those are the rules of punctuation, and you can use that to connect ideas. Okay, if you have any questions, please, again, let me know. If not, please, let's keep ourselves 5 minutes. Write something in 5 minutes, please. Use these structures, use indefinite pronouns, all right, and we check. Let's do it, please, guys. Okay, so we're starting officially, 5 minutes, and we check. Good luck. Okay, don't forget to apply the rules, please. Okay, try to apply at least one rule. Okay, that's the condition also. At least try to apply one rule. It can be the rule for plural. Okay, first the rule of singular, then the rule of plural in the second time, and the rule for possessive when you mention that. All right, we're going to have 2 more minutes, please, because of the time. It's going to be 6 minutes. So 2 more minutes, please, and we check what you got. Okay, we check in 1 minute, please. All right, so again, perhaps you didn't use all those elements, but what you did is going to be okay. I just want to see how you're structuring your ideas. All right, perhaps we're going to have one more exercise like this. But again, the main idea is I want to see how you're organizing your ideas, how you're using punctuation rules, how you're using those transition words and those coordinating conjunctions, all right? In order, again, to see your writing in general, and also to see how you're using these indefinite pronouns, all right? That's the only idea over there. So again, you can finish working. Perhaps I'm going to see who wrote more ideas, but let's try to start this time with you, Wilson. All right, let's read what you got, please, Wilson, and we're going to analyze how it is.
Okay, teacher. To commence, yesterday was an amazing day for someone to make me happy, and I might not be more grateful. Yesterday, I hung out with my girlfriend. Additionally, everything seemed magical, while the planets were lined up.
Great, thank you very much, Wilson. Great. It seems very romantic, very good, interesting. All right, thank you again for sharing all those things, Wilson. Let's check. All right, let's start with the details, Wilson. Again, in general, as always, you're taking most of the information into account, and it seems very, very good. To commence, yes. To start one idea, good. Yesterday here, right? Yesterday is the subject. So in this case, you don't need comma, right? But later on, you use yesterday one more time, but it's not the subject, right? So you're going to need comma. But here, no. Yesterday was an amazing day. Now here, I have a question, Wilson. Why was it an amazing day? Why was it an amazing day, Wilson?
Because someone made me happy.
Exactly, right? So that's the exact thing that you have to say, because someone makes me, okay, singular, or if it's past, Wilson made me. Okay,
Yes.
makes me or make me. Here, if you use infinitive, is incorrect. Why? Because remember, for means exactly the same as because. Okay, so Wilson, if you say yesterday was an amazing day because someone made me happy, then you have to say yesterday was an amazing day for someone made me happy. Okay, I don't know if you have questions about that observation, Wilson. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, I forgot the past of make.
Okay, don't worry. So again, it wouldn't be without infinitive, right? But even if it's present, what if it's present, Wilson? What would you say if the reason is in present?
Sorry, teacher, I didn't hear you.
Yes. What would you say if the idea was not past and if it was like present? What would you say, Wilson? Instead of made, what would you say?
Someone makes me happy.
Exactly, right? So the infinitive is not going to be good. It's always going to be makes, singular, present, or made in past. All right, for someone made me happy. All right, good. And okay, you decide that you want to use and. Why? Because you have comma, 1 comma, 2 commas. So to make clear that it's another idea, additionally, right, you can use and. Very good. And I might not be more grateful. Okay. Then yesterday, as yesterday here is not the subject, right? Here is the subject, but here it's an introductory phrase, right? And if it's the introductory phrase, it's going to be yesterday I hung out with my girlfriend. Good. GF, period. Additionally, everything seemed magical. All right. All right. I think it's working good. Usually, again, this is for the example, Wilson, and for the example is very good. All right. But this is something extra that I would tell everybody. All right. Additionally, it's usually going to be to divide two big ideas. All right. So to commence, this is this, and then additionally, and a lot of other ideas. But again, here, for example, I think it's working very good. Additionally, comma, everything seemed magical for the planets were lined up. Okay, good. This is again, one more time, reason, right? So I think it's working good, Wilson. I have no other questions or observations about that. I don't know if you have any questions or comments, Wilson. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, I think I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't use all the words.
Yes, because of the time, right? And you were the first, Wilson, so don't worry. It's okay, all right? You were the first. I'm checking yours first. And because of the time, 6 minutes is perhaps not enough to write even more, but it was good. The only thing I want to do, please, Wilson, before going to the next part with your partners, please, you're going to try to use yet. Okay, only this one, please. How can you use yet in one idea, Wilson? Remember, complete idea, comma, yet, complete idea. What do you say? What example can you give me?
Yes. Yesterday I hung out with my girlfriend. Yet yeah. Oh, I can say, or can I say yet not or not yet?
But that's going to be different, right? If you say not yet, it means something different. It means it didn't happen, but it's going to happen, right? But here, yet is not that meaning, Wilson. Here, yet means however, but, okay, in contrast. All right, so it's going to be a little bit different. Again, if you say not yet, it's okay, but it's not the same meaning, and it's not the best structure. All right, usually you use that for present perfect. Okay, for present perfect is the best thing to do it, and for negative ideas. Right here, you need to tell me something like this. Okay, a very clear example. Again, I like blue, yet she likes red. Okay, so I like blue, and contrary to that, she likes red. Okay, so we like different colors, and that's why I say yet. Okay, so what do you say? What example can you give me with yet?
I hung out with my girlfriend, yet it was not the perfect date.
Okay, yes, it is possible. You are showing me contrast with that idea, right? I did this, yet it was not what I expected could be, right? I hang out with her, yet it was not the perfect day because something was missing. So that is correct. Okay, so that's the difference, Wilson. If you use yet after a comma at the beginning of a complete idea, it means but. However, if you use yet at the end of the idea, it only reinforces the idea of a negative statement. Okay, I don't know if you have questions about that.
No.
Okay, thank you, Wilson. Thank you very much. Then I'm going to work with you, please, Paola. Let's read your ideas, please, Paola.
Okay. To comments, last week somebody was at the door of my house and nobody know who this person was. When we heard the bell and my father went to the door to ask who it was. Additionally, we realized that one of our dogs was missing, for my mother was searching.
Thank you very much, Paola. Again, really interesting. Let's analyze the details, but it seems complex. It seems well structured. All right. I see very few details that I'm going to remark now. All right. So let's start. Again, I'm just going to mark these words to see how we are using them. All right. Go to command last week. Right. So again, this is optionally Paola, as last week is not the subject. It can be here, not an introductory phrase, but here last week can be considered a parenthetical phrase or an interrupter. Okay, it's an interrupter. Why? Paola, Daniel, Wilson, and Larissa, because usually last week is at the end of the sentence. Okay, to commence, somebody was at the door, right, last week, or at my house's door last week. Okay, that's the expected order. But as it's not in the last part, it's at the beginning, then it should be an introductory phrase, last week, comma, or as interrupter to commence, comma, last week, comma, somebody, or yes, somebody was at the door of my house. Okay, so I put it as optional, but if you want to be very formal, it's going to be a good idea to use it, okay, as interrupter or parenthetical phrase. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then nobody knew who this person was when we heard good. This is like even one type of embedded question, right? Not a question itself, but it can be considered part of that structure. Nobody knew who this person was when we heard the bell. Comma, right? Why we need a comma here? I'm putting it in parentheses, but it's going to be over there. Why? Because this is one complete idea, even a complex idea, comma, you have and, coordinating conjunction, and you have another complete idea. My father went, subject verb, right? My father went to the door to ask who it was. All right, really interesting. Additionally, comma, right? Remember, anytime you use these are transitional words, okay? Transition words or phrases, you have to use comma, okay? Period or semicolon. Additionally, as a result, however, nonetheless, okay? Comma, and then the complete idea. We realized that one of our dogs was missing, okay? Before, my mother was searching. It means because my mother was searching. All right. So because you saw that your mother was searching, you realize that one of your dogs was missing. Right. I think that's the idea, and I think it's great up to that part. Paola, I don't know if you have any questions about those commas, because again, all in all is very good. Let me know, please, Paola.
No, teacher, is clear.
Okay, good. And again, just to practice, because it's important to use this structure, Paola, give me please only one example using yet. What example can you give me? Complete idea, comma, yet, complete idea.
When you use this structure, what is the meaning of yet?
Yet means but or however. Okay, again, it's contrast, Paola. It means I like blue again, right? I like blue, comma, yet you like red. Okay, in contrast, different to the previous idea. All right, so what do you say, Paula? What example can you give me with yet?
Mm. Um, we realized that one of our dogs was missing, yet he was louding at the door.
Okay, good. That information can be, yes, barking could be, right?
Barking,
Perhaps
yeah.
barking. He was barking at the door. Good. In that one could be, Paola, but you need to analyze, right? If that's really contrast. So you say one of our dogs was missing, but he really, right? Really, in fact, he was barking at the door. So he was not actually missing, right? He was not actually lost. He was in the door, right? If that's the idea of contrast, then it works. All right, it's always something different to the first idea. All right, so that idea can work in that way, Paula. I don't know if you have any questions about it yet. Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Good. Let's keep working. And again, this is something extra because this is not the topic, right? But I really want you to use these words to commence to start idea, additionally to add information, nonetheless for contrast, yet for contrast, for reason, okay, for a reason. Let's keep working, and I'm going to go with you now, please, Larissa. Let's read your idea, please.
To commence on my last birthday, I want to know a new place, so everything was ready to start the trip. Additionally, someone told me that my family was preparing a surprise for me. Nonetheless, everyone coordinates, so I will not find out. I don't like the surprise, yet that day I love it.
Thank you very much, Larissa. Great. All right, it's really, really interesting. I like many details that you were using here, Larissa. I'm going to tell you what details, all right? So again, at the beginning, remember, some commas are optional and some commas are going to be obligatory. This is an optional comma, but if you want to be very formal, it's going to be obligatory, right? Why? Again, on my last birthday is time reference. Usually time reference goes at the end of the sentence, Larissa, right? So subject, verb, object, place, and time. Okay, that's the correct order. Subject, verb, object, place, and time. Okay, and if it's not in that order, it means that you are breaking the rules, and then you need to use comma whenever you want to use. And if you're going to use time at the beginning, again, you always need, in a formal situation, to use comma before the subject. Okay, so to commence is the introductory phrase. On my last birthday is an interrupter that is giving us time. And I wanted to know a new place is the real sentence, okay, the complete idea. All right, that's why you have that first comma over there. And again, it's optional, but it's obligatory if you want to be very formal. So everything was ready to start the trip. Okay, everything was singular, so it's working very good. Additionally, right, remember, this is not optional, all right? I'm writing in parentheses, Larissa, because I'm adding that one, but this is obligatory, all right? Additionally is a transition word. Okay, additionally, as a result, consequently, first of all, okay, all of those are transition words and phrases. And the rule is that after all transition words and phrases, you have to use a comma. Okay, additionally, comma, someone told me that my family was preparing a surprise for me. Okay, again, I like the way you structured this. Okay, it looks very, very good, Larissa. So it's great. So let me just mark this. And to commence, additionally, and nonetheless. Very good. Nonetheless, this is contrast, right? So here you should tell me something, okay? Something that is different to the previous information, Larissa. All right. That's the best use of nonetheless, Larissa. Something that is different to the previous information. That is going to show me a contrast or something that I was not expecting. All right, something that I was not expecting. So if you say nonetheless, everyone coordinated, so I would not find out, it's not incorrect. All right, it is not incorrect, Larissa, but this idea is not different to the previous idea.
Okay.
Right? Because you said, additionally, someone told me that my family was preparing a surprise for me. If you say nonetheless, you can say something like this, Larissa. Nonetheless, it was not true. They were not preparing anything.
Mm.
Okay? So it's contrast, right? You have to use nonetheless as contrast. If you add information, then you don't have to use nonetheless. You can use one more time additionally or something to add information. Right? But this is not the best. I'm going to put it in parentheses, Larissa. All right? Because you are not telling me contrast, right? You are adding information to the previous information, but it's not different. Okay, so again, if you want to use nonetheless in this case, Larissa, you have to tell me something different to what I was expecting. All right, so something different can be that in fact they were not preparing a surprise for you. Okay, it was a lie. All right, that's the use for nonetheless. And then I don't like the surprise. If you say this, then it's in general, right? Then don't say I don't like the surprise. It's better if you say, Larissa, I don't like surprises. Okay, in general, I don't like surprises. Or you can say I didn't like the surprise. Okay, if it's a specific, use past. I didn't like the surprise. But if it's general, don't use the. It's better if you use plural. Okay, and you say, I don't like surprises. In general, I don't like surprises. Yet, that day, I loved it. And here, you have two options here, Larissa. If you want to say that day at the beginning, again, you can use comma, comma, because this is clarification for time. Yet, that day, I loved it. Or you can simply say, if you want to avoid using a lot of commas, Larissa, you can say, yet, I loved that day. Okay, and you don't use it, you directly use that day, and you don't need extra commas. Okay, so those are my recommendations there, guys. I don't know if you have any questions.
No, teacher, I
No?
don't have.
Okay, very good. I see that you're using yet, and you also use nonetheless, so I'm not going to ask you an extra example, Larissa. You use those structures correctly. All right, but actually something that I would like you to use, I was forgetting that one, Larissa. Let's use this one, please, with you. For. Remember that for, comma, for replaces because. With because, you don't use comma, right? And you say, for example, I want to study English because I want to travel to the United States. And you can say with this, I want to study English, comma, for I want to study for I want to go to the United States. Okay, it's exactly the same. You can use for in that way. So what example can you give me using for, Larissa?
I have to study tonight for do a good test or a good exam.
That's not incorrect, Larissa, but if you use for and you don't use a complete sentence, it's correct, but it's a different structure, right? Because you can say, and remember, you don't say for do, you have to say for doing, right? For doing a good exam. So you say, I have to study today or tonight for doing a good exam, all right? In that case, also, the best option is not going to be for, it's going to be to, all right? To do a good exam, all right? But here, you need to use a complete idea, all right? So you can say this, Larissa, I'm going to study tonight, comma, for, all right, for I have to get a good score, for example. Okay, you need to give me a complete idea that is a reason. Okay, so one more time, please, Larissa. After for, you need to have a complete idea, subject, verb, and complement.
Okay. I have to study tonight for I want to be the best in this class.
Okay, great, exactly, very good. For I want to be the best in this class. Okay, so complete idea, comma, for, complete idea, and only in that case, Larissa, only if you follow those details, it's going to be because, all right? If not, for can have other meanings. Only with a comma before for, it means because. All right, I don't know if you have any questions about that, Larissa.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's finish this up with you, please. Daniel, let's read your writing exercise, please.
Okay, teacher. Yeah, to comments, I was at the vehicle fair looking for someone to help me with my car's brakes. Additionally, my mom was trying to buy some drinks at the store and nobody was there. Nonetheless, somebody was selling orange juice at the door of the place. Uh, in the end, I couldn't buy anything that day in the fair. Yet I'll search somewhere the weekend again.
Thank you very much, Daniel. All right. Again, very good as always. Very interesting vocabulary. All right. You have vehicle fair. That's really interesting. And other details as well. All right. So let me get to the details, recommendations to finish up. All right. So to commence, very good. To commence with comma, right? I was at the vehicle fair, right? This is going to be very marked E, vehicle. All right. Vehicle fair, looking for someone to help me with my car's brakes. Very good. Additionally, great. You're adding information. My mom was trying to buy something at the store. And here you need a comma, right? Why? Because my mom was trying subject verb complement at the store and nobody was there, right? Subject verb complement. As you have two different subjects, my mom and nobody, then it means that we need a comma before the fanboy. Okay, comma, and nobody was there. Nonetheless, right, nonetheless, somebody was selling orange juice at the door of the place. So this is contrast because first you said nobody was there, but contrary to that idea, then you said that someone was selling over there, right? Somebody. So it feels like contrast because it's a different information that is the opposite of what you said before. Right? So it works in that case. Then in the end, if you realize that's also, you call this an introductory phrase. And as this is an introductory phrase, right, and I is the subject, right, in academic English, it's going to be always with, right, in the end, comma, I couldn't buy, sorry, I couldn't buy anything that day in that fair. Yet I'll search somewhere this weekend again. Okay, if you say somewhere, it's okay, but it's better if you clarify that it's a different place. It's not the same place. Somewhere can be the same place that the place that you go. But if you want to clarify that it's a different place, you can add this word. Okay, I'll search somewhere else this weekend again. It means that you're not going to go to the same places. It's not any place, okay? It's only a place that is different to the places that you went before. Okay, that's the function of else. That's what is clarifying. And that's it. I think you're using also yet very good, Daniel. Those are my observations, recommendations. I don't know if you have any questions about that.
It's is there an how can I express this? Is there a preference between nonetheless or nonetheless and however?
Actually, however, all right, there are categories of contrast. And you're going to learn that in A13. Okay, in A13.
Okay.
But I can tell you now, all right, very, very shortly, there's a difference. Usually you use, however, as contrast. Okay, and contrast is this, Daniel. Contrast, again, the example that I was giving to your partners. I like blue, okay, however, you like red. Okay, that's contrast. One idea and the other idea is different. Okay, so only different ideas. But nonetheless, it's usually like although or even though. And that
Oh.
instead of contrast is concession. Okay, and what is concession? Concession is that you thought it was going to happen in one way, but it happened differently. Okay, so this is the example here, Daniel. I like, let's say, I like this weather. All right. I like this weather. Nonetheless, I'm not going to go out because I feel sick. Okay, so in other words, although I like this weather, I'm not going out because I feel sick. All right, so again, contrast is two different ideas, and concession with nonetheless is you say something and you expect that you're going to say something, but you say the opposite because of a specific situation. In this case, just because you are sick, you are not going to go out. But usually you love the weather, and in a normal circumstance, you would go out. All right, I don't know if you get the difference between those two, Daniel. Let me know, please.
Yes, teacher, it's good to know that. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. So one more time, have those two words in mind, please. One is going to be contrast and the other one is going to be concession. All right, good.
Okay.
And before, please, one more thing with you, Daniel. Let's use this word. This is interesting to add to our vocabulary again. For. For means because. All right, it's the same as because. Give me, please, one example, Daniel, in which you use for. Complete idea, comma, for, complete idea. Only in speaking this time.
You said that for is like a result. Oh, sorry, can you repeat the
It's
explanation?
reason. In this case, it's
A
a
reason.
reason, Daniel. It's like this. I want to study English because I want to go to the United States. And you can say the same with this structure. I want to study English, comma, for I want to go to the United States. Okay, so it's exactly the same. So what do you say?
I'm gonna start eating healthy food for lose weight and be healthy the next months.
Good. One more time, please. After for, what is the idea that you're using after for? What is the reason? Remember that for means because.
Oh, okay.
So what do you say? Because, for, what is the reason?
Okay, I'm gonna start eating healthy food for I need to lose weight.
Very good. Exactly. All right. It sounds weird. Okay. It sounds weird because it's less common than because. Okay. Because is way more common than for. But if you use for with a comma, it means exactly the same. So your example is correct, Daniel. All right. For I want to or I need to lose weight. Okay. I don't know if you have any questions about that.
No, it's different, but maybe we have to get accustomed to that.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you very much, Daniel. Good. So only, and again, to show you that one, I remember that I saw this with you, right? It was with you, Wilson, right? Elvis, okay? Can't help falling in love, right? And here we learned about can help. And remember that can help means can avoid, right? I'm showing you this song again because here you also have this structure, okay? For, and I'm going to go to the lyrics. All right, and it's over here. Let me see. If you find it, please let me know. Here, okay, for. So here he's using for as because. All right, because. So take my whole life too, for I can help falling in love with you. And it means because I can help because I cannot avoid falling in love with you. And here again and again. All right. So again, it's weird, but for, if you use with a comma, it means because. All right. It means because. So again, we have some time. Yes, we're going to take advantage of this time that we have, please, guys. First, you're going to let me know this one. How do you say this? This time I'm going to use Spanish, all right? But because I really want you to use and understand this idea of indefinite and then the plural. So how do you say this? And this is going to be for you, Wilson. Wilson, how do you say uno tiene que entender? All right. Uno tiene que entender su trabajo. How do you say that in English, Wilson? Uno tiene que entender su trabajo. What do you say?
Someone has to understand his job.
Thank you very much, Wilson. I'm going to write it, okay? And we're going to analyze. Thank you very much. Someone understand his job. All right, so let's analyze. What do you say, Larissa? Do you agree or do you disagree? What would you do here? Uno tiene que entender su trabajo. What do you say?
I'm not sure. Someone has to. Someone is like alien. Has to understand.
Yes, correct. It is alguien. So there's the detail. How do you say uno instead of alguien, Larissa? It's the same, right? If you don't complicate yourselves, that's the same as the number. How do you say the number?
One of us or one?
Actually, only one.
Yeah.
Okay, one can be a subject. Okay, this is something that you didn't know. You're learning. Okay, one can be a subject, and one can be a people. Okay, uno. All right, one has to understand his job. Okay, good. Thank you, Larissa. That's going to be yours over there. But I have one more thing. What about this possessive? And this is going to be for you, Daniel. What do you think about this possessive? Uno tiene que entender su trabajo. And let's remember that we have to try to be neutral. I don't know if I'm talking about a man or a woman, right? And I want to be as neutral as possible. So what can I do?
One has to understand one's job.
Okay, good. That's one option. Good. That's one option. Very good. And what do you think can be another option? And this is going to be for you. Thank you, Daniel. This is going to be for you, Paola. What is the other option? If I don't want to use one again, okay, because I'm repeating one. What possessive can I use here, or possessive, Paola, if I want to be neutral and formal?
There?
Okay, yes, that's one option. Great. There, it's a very interesting option. Again, Pearson says that it's a little bit less informal, but it works very good. Good. And what is the other option? Also for you, Paola. It's there. And the other option, what could it be? You have to tell me two pronouns or two possessive pronouns.
His or her?
His or her. Great. Thank you, Paola. Good. So again, that's it. Okay, so instead of his, again, Pearson says something, but you have other books and other information. Try to do it in this way. Okay, one as uno has to understand their job. Usually, and again, because of the books I've read and information that I've got, usually they use this. It's weird that you're going to read his or her, or you can do this, and it's not incorrect, again, what you said at the end, Paula, his or her. Again, the idea is that you have to be neutral. But the best way, right, according to what I was reading and all the information that I got, it's this there. Okay, so let's have that in mind, please. And I'm going to give you one more thing because before going to the last practice that is going to be speaking. And this one is going to be for you, please. This is important and this is important here. This is going to be for you, Larissa. All right, Larissa. How do you say el estudiante debe leer? All right, debe leer su artículo. How do you say that?
El estudiante
Debe leer su artículo o su ensayo. One of those. What do you say? How do you say that in English?
The student has to read. Has to read. The article.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Larissa. Good. I think it seems very interesting. And again, if you don't want to say, right, the sex or the gender of this student, because it's only the student, right? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a girl, a boy, it's only students. Good. Let's do two things, okay? Just to see how you're doing. And this is for you, Wilson. What do you say? Do you agree with all these words? How do you say el estudiante debe leer su artículo? Do you agree or do you have some changes? What do you say?
Student must.
Okay, good. Yes, if we want to be very precise, right, instead of has to, which is not incorrect because it's also imperative, right? But in this case, it's going to be better if we say must, right? Good. That's one, thank you. What other detail, Wilson? Also for you, Wilson. Can you say that we have other options? What can we say instead of there in this situation? Because there it's okay, but what can you say instead of that?
His or her.
Okay, could be his, could be her, or could be his or her again. And this only if you want to be very neutral, right? Great, thank you very much, Wilson. There you go. All right, so again, and again, I'm showing you this there because in instructions, you're going to find this. Okay, it's going to be more common that you read there instead of his or her. Okay, so it's going to be the student must read their article. It's one student, but it doesn't matter. Remember, the student is indefinite. Okay, the student is indefinite. I don't know what student, but it's one student. I don't know the gender or the sex. So I'm going to say their. All right, and again, this is in order to be neutral. All right, to be neutral. One is one of the best ways to be neutral in English, and also to use this indefinite pronouns. Someone, but someone can be too indefinite, so one can be even more formal and more specific. All right, but that's what I wanted to show you. If you have questions about that one, please let me know, because with that we are finishing. All right, we are finishing here. Just the negative. Remember, this is something that we covered the first day. Do not use no and not. Okay, you have to use no in affirmative ideas and any in negative ideas. All right, and again, if you have questions about that, please, you can let me know, because with that, we are finishing. All right, we have more explanation about some other details, like for example, here. All right, anything can be something, well, very unspecific. So let's read this. Actually, we're going to read only these details to learn about this, because we already practiced. Let's read this with you, please. Larissa, every.
Every. A pronoun with every includes the idea of all the people or all the objects. Everybody or everyone should go to the park. She wants to buy everything in the store.
Great. Thank you very much. This is something that we knew, right? Every includes all the people or all the objects. Everybody, everyone, the same, everything. It means all the people and all the things, right? You know that one. That's why this is affirmative. This is a positive idea. Some. This is going to be for you, please, Paola. Some.
Okay, some, a certain thing, person, place. We can use some in affirmative sentences and questions when we are offered or we know the answer. We have to use plural. There is someone in the park. Would you like something to eat?
Thank you very much, Paola. So again, some, a certain thing, a certain person, a certain place, right? There is someone in the park. I don't know who that is. It's only someone, right? That's enough. And in questions, when you offer things, right? Would you like something to eat? Would you like some coffee, right? But here, as this is indefinite, something to eat, something to drink. Any, very unspecific. This is going to be for you, please, Daniel. Any, please.
Any, very specific. We can use any negative sentences and questions in general. We don't know the answer. We have to use plural. There isn't anyone in the park. Does anybody know where the park is?
Thank you very much, Daniel. There you go. And here we are using embedded questions, right? We don't say, does anybody know where is the park? We're going to say, as Daniel did it, where the park is, right? And that's correct, because that's embedded question. Okay, so this is a reminder. So it was very good. Thank you very much. So remember, any for negative ideas, usually, or for questions when you don't know the answer. Okay, does anybody know where the park is? All right, does anyone, okay, does anyone know about this information? Or can anybody help me? Right, these are questions in general when you don't know the answer. And that's why it's unspecific. All right, and where? You add where at the end of any of those, every, some, no, and every, some, any, and no, for a place with certain details. And we're going to finish this with you, please, Wilson.
Where we can use somewhere positive, anywhere negative or more unspecific, and nowhere negative in the same way we did for place. I want to live somewhere near the city. I want to travel everywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. I have nowhere else to go.
Thank you very much, Wilson. There you go. All right, so where, if you add where after all of these prefixes, then they are going to be considered something positive or negative according to the idea that you're given. Okay, but it's something indefinite. That's why these are indefinite pronouns. All right, everywhere, anywhere, nowhere, right, and somewhere. So again, if you have questions about these indefinite pronouns, please let me know. As always, you have some links here to practice. All right, and with that, we are finishing. We spent more time because of the writing exercise, but I think it was good to do it. Now, I know that we don't have that much time to practice, all right, as I wanted to practice this speaking exercise, but we're going to do only something, all right, a little thing before finishing today. And again, remember that today we're finishing everything. In case you have questions about these details, you can let me know. All right, you can let me know. But something that I want to do is that we are going to only show perhaps over here one of these topics, and we are going to talk about it. All right, and I'm going to show you some words. Sorry, guys, I'm going to show you some words because right now, instead of playing these 6 minutes, this is what we do in the conversations. We are going to talk about it. All right. First, we're going to try to answer this. All right. We're going to finish with this short conversation. So this is going to be for you first, Daniel. What do you say about this question? Very shortly, how can you answer this question? Is there a future without bees, right? These are bees.
Well, actually, it comes to my mind that movie, that cartoon movie, when there were many bees in a town. So it shows us how the life could be without bees. So I think I didn't think this before, but I'm just thinking on that movie. So it's not possible because we need them to the flora, the pollination, the flowers, and I don't know if it's related to the trees as well, but yeah, it's good to have them.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Good. Okay, so that's the first question. Thank you again. Now I'm going to show you some words, and the rest of you again is also going to participate. So you said something interesting. This is the word that you can use over there, Daniel, to pollinate. Okay, so bees pollinate. Okay, they pollinate what? Crops. Crops are those places, right, in which you grow plants. Okay, the places in which you grow plants. You can grow corn, you can grow, I don't know, right, a lot of other things. Okay, those are crops. They pollinate crops, okay, insects in general, not only bees, but insects. They pollinate fruit and they pollinate vegetables. Okay, to pollinate. All right, that's the thing, to pollinate. Then this is something, okay, facing extinction. Now, the next question is about this, and this is for you, Wilson. What do you think about this? It says all bee species are facing extinction. Why? Why do you think that this is happening? Why do you think that bees are facing extinction now?
Oh, well, one, I don't know, I was thinking about the climate change, and every year the bees need to move another places because the temperature are rising, and it is nature. The bees needs ¿cómo se diría? Cómodo, teacher.
You want to use that word as a adjective? What is the idea that you want to give, Wilson? What is cómodo?
Lugares cómodos. Quieren buscar un lugar cómodo.
Then you only say comfortable places. Okay, comfortable places.
Okay,
Okay, good. Only to expand that, Wilson. So is it this climate change? So what is the reason why bees are facing extinction? Is it only nature, or is it produced by men? Or are we doing something to bees to make them face extinction?
Oh, man is the reason for the climate change. The CO2.
Very good, right? So indirectly, right, one of the things that is being affected by that climate change, which was or is produced by men, right, is the extinction of some animals, some insects, including bees. Right, great. Thank you very much, Wilson. Good. I'm just going to keep showing you some words. Here you have that facing extinction, okay? When you face extinction, it means that you are at risk of extinction, okay? You are at risk of extinction. Again, remember also the verb, okay? To pollinate, all right, to pollinate. Then here you have something, and you're going to try to explain this one. It says, what is pollination? Okay, well, what is pollination? Let's try to explain that with you, actually, Larissa. All right, it can be complex, but you understand, right? Pollination. How can you explain that in English, Larissa? What is to pollinate, or what is pollination?
Pollination is the job that some insects doing with in the plants.
And what is that job? What exactly are they doing, those insects doing?
They extract the pollen of the flowers.
And what do they do with that pollen? When they extract, or when they have the pollen of one plant, flower, what do they do after that?
Mm.
Once we see, do they keep the pollen for themselves, or do they take the pollen to another plant or flower? What do you say?
They use that pollen.
Good. One more time, Larissa. Do they use the pollen themselves, for themselves, or do they take the pollen to another plant or flower?
And they keep the pollen. In the case of the bees, they keep the pollen.
Okay, we're going to analyze. All right, we're going to analyze, because here they are going to explain something, and we can repeat, and then I go with you. It was Paola, I think you're missing, yes, and we're going to finish, all right? But let's read this one, please, Larissa. Then it says, right, what is pollination? It says, all flowering plants needed to reproduce. It means that flowers, all right, can be male, okay, male flowers, or female flowers, okay? So it means plants have sex or gender, let's say, okay? You can call it any of those ways. And it means that one insect, in this case the bee, is going to move pollen from one flower to another flower, okay? Because actually the flowers, the plants are going to reproduce, right? And the bees do that, and the insects do that, but they don't do it on purpose, okay? They don't know that they are doing that. They are collecting something else, okay? They are collecting something else, and the pollen, okay, sticks to them. They don't know, and they go to another flower, and they put the pollen then there without knowing. And in that way, the flowers are reproducing, okay? But the bees don't know. The bees are only collecting nectar, perhaps, and they are going to take that food to their hive, okay? Colmena, hive, but they don't know. Okay, so let's repeat that idea, please, with you, Larissa. Let's explain pollination one more time. How can you explain that process?
Okay, is the job that the bees doing. They extract the pollen and they I forget how I say llevan. They
Take the pollen.
They take that pollen to another flower.
Very good. And do they do that on purpose, or they do that without knowing that?
They do it without knowing.
Without knowing. Great. Thank you very much, Larissa. Good. And I'm going to finish with you, please, Paola. We're going to look some of these words. And again, here I'm taking advantage to show you these words. Remember, to pollinate is the action, okay, of pollinate, of pollinating something. pollination is the noun. Pollination includes what Larissa said, right? The action of taking pollen from one plant to another plant, right? To reproduce, because the flowers reproduce. And as you can see here, nectar. Okay, they collect nectar. They don't collect pollen, but they have the pollen, okay, without knowing. And the last one, please, for you, again, Paola, it's going to be something related to another word. All right, and let me talk about this very, very shortly. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, so this one, just to know, Paula, to have the conversation very, very shortly. So is there another way to pollinate? What do you think is the way that plants have to reproduce? Okay, I know this is a different topic. This is something else. But do you need that something else besides the insects can do this job, Paola? Or are insects the only ones that they can do this job? What do you say?
Mm. I think the only way is for insects.
Okay, so let's learn this one. And yes, actually, they are going to be like the biggest percentage. All right, I'm just going to show you this one. So it means that 40 out of 50 of the top crops, okay, it means the food that you grow, 40 of 50 are pollinated by insects. Okay, so it's a lot of them. So insects are not the only ones, all right? What do you think is the other way in which plants can reproduce? If it's not by an insect, what do you think? What is your guess, Paola?
Maybe fertilizers.
Okay, to fertilize, but how do you fertilize something? If you are a flower, right, and you're a male flower and you are a female flower, how can you reproduce if you cannot move?
You need pollen.
Exactly. And how do you take the pollen from one plant to another? Because the male, right, the male flower has the pollen, and you need to take that pollen to the female flower. So how can you get from that place to another place without insects? What do you say?
I don't know, teacher.
All right, it's going to be with this one. All right, again, this is not an exam. All right, this is just to give you these words. So this is the word that you wanted to say also here, Paola. This is fertilization. Okay, fertilization, and it occurs in all flowering, and it's not only insects, but it's also because of wind, viento. Okay, so the only two ways that flowers can reproduce, okay, they work in this fertilization process, is with insects and wind, because the wind is going to take the pollen from one plant to another. But as you can see, that is so random. Okay, that's random. That's why they need the help of insects. So to finish here, please, Paola, let's repeat that idea, please. What are the two ways that flowers have to reproduce or fertilize?
To fertilize, the plant reproduce with pollen, that we need insects or wind.
Great. Thank you, Paola. All right. So again, Here, I just wanted to show you these guys. You can take a look at these elements. This is going to be posted on Google Classroom, all right? But I wanted to take advantage, at least today. I'm using more time. But again, if you want to take a look at these words, again, this is going to be in this document over here. I'm going to post this now. Just give me 1 second. Assign. All right, there you go. Now you can see that. And it's in Unit 4, Speaking and Listening Practice. You go to box set, 6-minute English, and you go to the conversation about this. It's the second conversation, all right, the second podcast. And there you can learn that vocabulary. To pollinate, pollination, all right, to fertilize, to reproduce, all right, flowering, facing extinction, at risk, and so on and so forth. All right, but let's finish here, please. Again, as always, I'm going to share, please, the link. Remember that we are finishing. We're going to let you know, at least management is going to let you know when the next course is going to start. All right, but until then, please, you have to pay attention to the WhatsApp group. All right, as always, thanks for being here. I'm going to send 2 surveys, please, today. Fill out that survey first, please, and then we're going to have another one before you leave. Okay, only one more is missing. Good. And this is the last one. All right, there you go. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. I hope that we can keep working together. If not, it was great, guys. See you. Take care.
See you, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
See you.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye. Take care.